Hello and good afternoon. Hello and welcome. Good afternoon. This is AM Language and this is your afternoon lesson. I am just going to share this lesson online so more people can join. Okay, we've got 2 people already. Okay, and right, I'm just going to share this lesson. Let's see. I hope you're all well. We are going to continue looking at what we started off looking at yesterday. Where am I? That's because I need to go on YouTube to share this lesson. Right, so AM Language, begin lesson and elementary, and share. Okay, so like I said, we are going to be looking at what we were looking at yesterday. So we'll continue where we finished yesterday. So yesterday with Unit 9 in the beginners, we were looking at health and happy, the topic of health and happy. And we were looking at how to use some time phrases for the past, like a few days ago or last night. We didn't get on, though, to talking about parts of the body and talking about how we feel as well in terms of health. And we didn't get on to talking about the environment. So we'll try and continue with that as well. With elementary, we got to... we just looked at the present continuous, and we were looking at the verbs that we can use in different situations and building understanding of the verbs. We didn't look at making suggestions, and we didn't look at the grammar form of would, like, to, or the verb. So I think what we'll do is we'll try and combine the two together today. So for the first half of the lesson, we'll look at some language that we can use in terms of about parts of the body and talking about how we feel. And then we will then move on to talking about the grammar side of things as well. I think we can also, if we look at one or two things, I just want to see when our next beginner class is, if there's 2 more or if there's just 1 more this week before we go into the more general, because there are certain bits of language that I definitely want to look at with you guys, which is more important than the topic. So let's see. So today we've got pre-intermediate. So now we have beginner and elementary. This afternoon at 4 o'clock we have pre-intermediate. Tomorrow we have intermediate, up intermediate, and then a pronunciation lesson. So we only have 1 more lesson after this, which is on Thursday for just beginner and elementary students. So I want to make sure that we are going to look at everything that you guys need to look at. I think what I will do with, here we have you been as well in this chapter. I think for that one, I will do in the last lesson. I'm going to look at, well, in the last lesson on Thursday this week, which is just for beginner and elementary. I think that's when we will look at talking about the quantity of something, and And we'll also look a little bit at the relationship between present perfect and past simple. So we'll wait for Thursday to look at that side of things. So today we will focus on just making sure we know different parts of the body and talking about how we feel. Today we will also look at would, like to, and the verb. We already looked at the different types of verbs that we can use. We could continue to develop that, actually. And we will go there as well. Actually, another thing we'll look at in today's lesson is, I think we'll also just have a little look at for and against, possibly, if there's time. So let's begin. So let me know who's watching. Let me know if you have a book or not. If you don't have a book, I will do more typing. So let's start off by talking about parts of the body that we need to know. So obviously, we've got the head, we've got the face, eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. Okay, so repeat it after me, please, and with your hands you can do this too. So you've got your head, your face, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, your chin, and that is your head. Okay, so it's quite simple. We're just going to start off with a little activity. I'm going to point or touch a different part of my head and my face, and I just want you guys to tell me what part of my body I am touching. So your options are going to be head, face, eyes, nose, ears, mouth, and head, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and I'll tell you what, and chin. So those are the options. So if I do this, I'm touching my head. So you guys just type head. If I do this, you type face. If I do this, you type eyes, nose, ears, mouth, chin. Okay, let's see who does this, and then we will move on. So can you guys start off by telling me which part of my face am I touching? Any ideas? Which part of my face? Is this my head, my face, my eyes, my nose, my ears, my mouth, or my chin? Hello, Irina. Yes, chin. Hello, Leon. Thank you. Yes, that is my chin. Very good. Second one again. What are these? Very quickly. Is this my head, my face, my eyes, my nose, my mouth, or my ears? Ears. Very good. Well done. Very good. Let's go with one more, which was important. Let's go with the whole thing. What's the whole thing? Is it my head, or would you say my face? Head or face? Head or face? Face. Good. Well done. Now, with the mouth, you've got one or two things. With the mouth, you have lips, which is over here. Maria, breather. Okay. If you're talking about your breather, Maria, that is your nose. So you've got your mouth, your ears, and with your mouth you have lips, and then you've got your nose. So let's move on to the next thing. Are these my lips, or is this my mouth? If I touch here, is this my mouth or is it my lip? Am I touching my lips or mouth? Lips or mouth? Am I touching my mouth or am I touching my lips? Well done. Lips is the case. Excellent. Okay, so we can now move on. The next thing that we need to look at is, hello Isabella as well, hello Irina, hello Philip, and hello Maria. Thank you very much for joining. Next. So this here is going to be my neck, but this bit here is going to be my throat. So you've got your neck, which is the whole thing. But then you've got your throat. Now, if you do get symptoms of the virus, this is the important thing, your throat. So your throat. Okay, that's how you can say it, throat. So you've got your neck and then you have your throat. All right. You then have these two things over here, which are called shoulders. So you've got your neck, your throat, and your shoulders. And then this bit, chest. So if you do get symptoms of the virus, hopefully you don't, you will feel it in your throat and you'll feel it in your chest, but you won't feel it in your shoulders and you probably won't feel it in your neck. So let's do the next activity. I am going to point again to either my neck, my throat, my chest, or my shoulders. And whatever part of my body I point to, I want you guys to type in the live chat. Okay, so let's start off. So I'm doing this at the moment. Is this my neck? Is this my throat? Are these my shoulders? Or is this my chest? So if my hands are here, is this my chest, shoulders, throat, or neck? What do you guys think? Is this my chest? Yes, yes, yes. Well done, Irina. Well done, Leon. It is your chest. Well done. Next one. I'm going to touch over here. Is this my neck or is this my throat? Is this my neck or is this my throat? Over here. Neck or throat? Neck or throat? Neck or throat? Which one is this? Neck or throat? Irina, throat. Philip, throat. Isabel, throat. Excellent. So that means this is my neck, which is excellent. Now, over to these. Let's now look at the rest over here. So, as we've said, this is the shoulder. This is the elbow. This is your wrist, hand, fingers. Okay, so you've got shoulders. Yes, well done, Leon. So you've got shoulders, elbows, or your elbow. You've got your wrist, hands, fingers, and the whole thing makes up your arm. So if I touch here, this is my shoulder. If I touch here, this is my elbow, my wrist, my hand, my fingers, and the whole thing is the arm. So this is going to be the arm. So let's begin. I'm going to touch a part of my arm, and you guys need to tell me what part of my arm I am touching. So if I go over here, is this my wrist or is this my elbow? Is this my wrist or my elbow? I should say wrist, okay, is spelt W-R-I-S-T, but the W is silent. So is this my wrist or is this my elbow? Okay, Leon has gone for wrist. Anyone else? Do you agree with Leon? Is this my wrist or is this my elbow? Irina thinks it's a wrist as well. Okay, the answer is this is my wrist. This here is my elbow. Okay, so repeat after me. My elbow, my elbow, my elbow, my elbow. This is my elbow. This is my elbow. This is my elbow. This is my elbow. Elbow, elbow. So let's move on to the next thing. Is this here my wrist or my hand? Is this my wrist or my hand? Wrist or hand? Wrist, Irina, well done. Yes, this is your wrist. Well done. So repeat after me. Elbow, wrist. Elbow, wrist. Elbow, wrist. Well done, Leon. Elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Okay, great. So next one. We've got this over here. Is this my hand or is this my fingers? Hand or fingers? Hand or fingers? Hand or fingers? Hand, well done, Irina. Excellent. So over here, you have your fingers. Good. So repeat after me. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, hand, fingers. The whole thing is the arm. So the arm, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hand, fingers. Excellent. Well done. Okay, and that will now finish with the top part of the body. Okay, so for this, I'm just going to move my thing down a little bit. So we know this is the chest. So this is now, quite simply, your stomach. Okay. This here is the stomach. And that's what you need to remember. Stomach. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the next part of the body that we can talk about. So here, we'll move this down. This here, obviously, is the leg. This is the leg. The most important thing you need to know is top part. This is your thigh. Okay, so this here is your thigh. Repeat after me. Thigh, 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 thigh. Then we move on to the knee. Okay, so this here is the knee. Thigh, knee. Thigh, knee. Thigh, knee. Thigh, knee. Then we move on to the ankle, okay, and foot. Ankle, foot. Ankle, foot. Ankle. So if I show you here, this, the bone over here, this is the ankle, this is the foot. Ankle, foot. Ankle, foot. Ankle, foot. And toes. So you've got ankle, foot, and toes. Okay, right. So let's do this one last time. Thigh, knee, ankle, foot, toes. Toes, foot, ankle, knee, thigh, which makes up the leg. Okay, so let's begin. I am going to point to a different part of my leg, and this time you guys need to tell me what part of my body I am pointing to. So let's begin. Is this here my... Ooh, I need to put the camera down. So, is this my foot or my knee? Foot or my knee? Foot or my knee? Is this my foot or is this my knee? Foot or knee? Which one is it? Foot or knee? Well done, foot. Excellent. Next one. Is this here my ankle or knee? Ankle or knee? Ankle or knee? Is this my ankle or my knee? Let's see what you guys put. Ankle, well done. Ankle, well done. Ankle, well done. Excellent. Next one. Is this my knee or my thigh? Knee or my thigh? Knee or my thigh? Knee or my thigh? Is this my knee or is this my thigh? Knee, excellent, very good. So finally, is this my thigh or my toes? Thigh or my toes? What about the last one? Was it thigh or my toes? Thigh or my toes? Oh, think. Okay, no, you're thinking of thigh. Just to remind you, the spelling is T-H-I. Sorry. Yep, there we go. Well done, Irina. Thigh, yes. Okay, great. Now that we have looked at the most important parts of the body, let's go through it one more time. Head, face, eyes, nose, mouth, lips, ears, chin, neck, throat, chest, shoulders, arm, elbow, wrist, hand, fingers, stomach, leg, thigh, knee, ankle, foot, toes. So we have now looked at the most important parts of the human body. So we can now look at the next bit, which is talking about feeling. How do we feel? So this term, I am feeling well, obviously is good. I am feeling unwell, which could mean sick. I am feeling sick. I am feeling under the weather, which is also mean another word for bad. We can also say now sort of pains and problems, we might say. So for instance, we can say the word hurt. So we can say my head hurts. And if your head hurts, you might have something called a headache. My head hurts, which means I have a headache. My head hurts, I have a headache. My head hurts, I have a headache. Hurts is a really important word. This is ow. Hurt is ow. Ow. Now, if you can have a headache, you can have your neck can hurt, your throat can hurt, your chest can hurt, your arms can hurt. So the most important word you need to know is hurt. Okay, this means you feel pain. Now, or another word, discomfort. Now I'll explain what this means. So my neck hurts. Okay. Now we can also say I have a pain in my neck. I have discomfort in my neck. Now these are three ways of explaining to someone or a doctor that there is a problem. So the first word that we need to look at is hurt. Hurt, or it hurts. This is, let's say we use like, now hurt can be used as a verb, but in this case, it's being used as an adjective. So my neck hurts, ow. Okay, so here we are using it as an adjective, not as a verb. So my neck hurts. Next one, I have a pain in my neck. I have a pain in my neck. Now, hurt, as we know, is an adjective, but pain is a noun. So here we're using hurt as an adjective, and we're using pain as a noun. This is why we have to write things a little bit differently. Then you can use the word discomfort. Now, what is discomfort? In this case, you might be thinking of the word, the adjective comfortable. Something is comfortable. Discomfort is a noun. Discomfort. And if you have discomfort in a part of your body, it means there is a problem. You feel some pain. It is not comfortable. So, my head hurts. I have a pain in my neck. And I have discomfort in my chest. Now, the prepositions. Usually, if it's something inside, it's in. If it's inside your body, it's in. If it's on top of your body, it's on. So, for instance, I have a pain in my chest. I have a pain in my eye. This means it's in. It's not on, it's in. If you say, I have a, let's say, when it's something to do with just the skin, it's going to be on. Such as if I have a knife and I cut myself, you can say I have a cut on my arm. This is because it's on the skin. So if it's on the skin, it's on. If it's inside your body, the preposition will be in. The other type of things we might talk about, you might be asked a question. For instance, you might say, the question might be, how are you today? You might say, I feel unwell. I then talk to you later and I might ask you, are you feeling better? And you might tell me, yes, thank you. I'm feeling much better. Or you might say, I'm feeling a bit better, or not really. I don't feel better. Okay, so we'll finish off this first part of the lesson. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you can tell me your answers, such as, first of all, are you well today? If you're well, just write yes, thank you. Or if you're feeling bad, you can say, not really, I don't feel well, for example. So tell me, guys, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? Let me know in the live chat section. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Excellent, Irina. Good. I feel good. Excellent. Okay. Can anyone tell me? I'm feeling well. Isabella, great. Excellent. I'm glad that all of you are feeling well. Okay. Right. With that, all of you are feeling well. I'm feeling very well, says Leon. Excellent. I'm glad that you're feeling very well. In which case, we can now move on to the next part of the lesson. Oh, Maria, I'm feeling lazy. Great. No problem. Okay, so with that, we can now move on to the next bit, which is now going to be on page 73 in the elementary book. And with this, we are going to look at some grammar. Okay. Actually, there are two things we can look at. Let's first look at the grammar. We'll look at the grammar in relation to one or two things. So we're now going to change the topic. We're now going to change the topic to something called hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. Now, for instance, when we talk about a hope, we're talking about something that is not possible in the present. It might be possible in the future, but it's something that uh, we think is going to be good. It's something that we think would be really great. So, for instance, I hope. Let's see, what is a good hope? A lot of my hopes surround and dreams are to do with travel, to be honest. So, a hope is something that's not possible in the present. A dream is not possible in the present and might be unrealistic in the future as well. So, for example, people like to dream of people might like to dream of space. People might like to dream of going to Mars. People might like to dream about making lots and lots and lots of money. People might dream about becoming billionaires. People might dream about one day having a Ferrari. Who knows? But this is important to know. The hope is something that's not possible in the present. It might be possible in the future. We don't know. A dream is unrealistic both in the present and possibly the future. It could be a goal. I mean, it does depend on the context. So let's start off by looking at this type of grammar. When we're talking about something that we hope or dream, we use would, like to plus verb. So to be more specific, subject plus would plus like plus to plus verb. So, for instance, I would like to travel to Antarctica, for example. I would like to see. I would like to see AC/DC play live, for example. So here I am talking about what I would say at the moment is my hope. This is more of a hope. I would like to. Then you use your verb, and then you use your object of your sentence. You can then use the abbreviated version, which is I'd like to go to New Zealand one day. Now, when you use one day, in this case, you are then talking about in the future. So that's the positive. That's the positive at the moment. So let's have a little look at the question. I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I would like you to answer. So my question could be, what do you hope for in the future? Let's say we're going to be talking about, actually, what do you hope to do in the future? Okay. Now, Maria, I would like to have my routine again. Yes, I think that's an excellent answer. Very well done. And you've used the grammar correctly as well. So well done, Maria. I think that's an excellent question. Let's change the question. I'm going to ask, would you like to... here we go. Would you like to travel around South America one day? Okay. So would you like to travel around South America one day? This is now talking about one day, maybe in the future. Let me know if you would like to travel around America, South America one day. Maybe you want to start off in Colombia, then go to Ecuador, Peru. Let me know what your answer is. Would you like to? And then we'll move on to how to create the negative, before looking at more verbs as well. Leon says, yes, I'd like to go to Colombia. Iriana says, yes, I would like in one day. Okay, very close, Irina. Just one thing. I would like to one day. So instead of in, put to. In instead of to. Okay, and then you've got a very good answer. So well done there. Okay, how do you create the negative? You put I would not or I wouldn't. So you've got your Maria says, I would like to travel around Europe someday. Oh, really good alternative to one day. Someday is a really good one to use. So negative. How do you create it? You create it by saying use your subject plus would plus not plus like to. Plus verb. Okay, so it's a bit longer. So this would be I wouldn't like to visit. Let's say we might say, for example, I wouldn't like to visit. Let's see, part of the world that might not be great to visit. For instance, I wouldn't like to visit North Korea, for example. So that could be one example, or another way of putting it, I wouldn't I wouldn't like to go. I wouldn't like to fly. I wouldn't like to fly at the moment. I wouldn't like to travel at the moment. I wouldn't like to study at the moment. So, can you guys let me know what you wouldn't like to do at the moment? Is there anything? Sorry, is there anything you wouldn't like to? Something at the moment. Is there anything you wouldn't like to do? Wouldn't like to get? I wouldn't like to come back to Peru for the moment. Okay, Maria, very close. Come. You only use the word come if the person you are talking to is in the place you are talking about. So if you're talking to me and I'm in Peru, then you can use come back to Peru. But because the person you are talking to is not in the location you are talking about, you then have to say, I wouldn't like to go back to Peru. Instead of, you've got two options, at the moment or for now. That would be your option. Leon says, I wouldn't like to stay here at the moment. I prefer go to the school. Okay, here I would prefer to go to school. So well done. That was nearly a very, very good sentence, Leon. So good stuff there. Well done. Okay, good. I think we can be pretty happy with that. I think we can move on to the next thing. What I'm now going to look at is just, we're going to look at some vocabulary. Okay, so when we're going to talk about life events and plans, we've got certain verbs. Actually, I just want to finish off with one type of verb that I want to explain to you guys. That's come and go, just to make this absolutely clear. Okay, I am in Malta at the moment. Okay, because I'm in Malta, if we are talking about travel, we can only use come if we're talking about Malta. So for instance, for example, you can say, I would like to travel around Europe. I would like to travel around Europe, but I would like to come back to Malta for the summer. Okay, so we can use come back to Malta because I am in Malta. So that makes sense. Go. This is different anywhere other than Malta because the person you are talking to is not in Malta. Sorry, because the person you're talking to is in Malta, not in other locations. So you are from Peru. So this is why you would then say, I would like to go back to Peru. I would like to go to the United States. I would like to go to Australia, because it's every other location other than the location that the person you are talking to is in. So that's just a quick thing on the difference between come and go. Now, let's look at this. Vocabulary of life events. If you guys do have this is the elementary book. This is going to be on page 73. And this is going to be question 6. Okay, question 6. At the top, we've got these words. We've got become, have, move, stop, get, leave, start, and win. So these are our words at the top. What we need to do is we try and complete the sentences. So, for example, in 1a, It says, my wife's going to something, a baby, in January. Now, I can tell you that when you're talking about baby, you would say going to have a baby in January. Okay? So, have a baby is the word collocation we are looking at. Have a baby. This is these are the three words you use together. Have a baby, have a child, have a family. Okay? And then in B, we've got my friend something, a serious accident a few years ago, and he can't work. Now, this is now the past. So B, so 1B is had. My friend had a serious accident a few years ago. My friend had a serious accident a few years ago. Okay. So we can hear that in number one, it's have or had in the past. This is because we're talking about a life experience, okay, of something that happened or didn't happen to you. And this is why for life experience, we often use the present, we often use have. We often use have. Let's look at 2A. We something to St. Petersburg when I was 10. My dad got a job here. So if you're talking about well, I've nearly gave away the word really. If you're talking about going from one location to another location as a family, for example, you then move because you move house, you move job, well, yeah, you move location. So the answer here is move. So you could say we moved to St. Uh, Petersburg. So you can move house. You can. That's actually the important thing here. You move house. When you move house, you change where you live. You might even change job. Okay. Then if we look at B, for example, 2B, we're going to house next year. We need a bigger place. Just like we said, move. We're going to move house next year. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, can you guys just tell me in the comment section below, can you type yes? Can you type yes if you have the book if you have the elementary book? And can you tell me, type yes if you have the elementary book and you are open on page 73? Can you just tell me in the live chat section now, do you have the book? If you do have the book, we can move on to the activity. If you don't have the book, I will write the activity and we will do it together. So just let me know in the live chat section. Do you have the book? Do you have the elementary book? So Leon has the book. Okay, only Leon. Right, what I'll do is, okay, Maria has the book. 2 people have the book. Okay, what I will do is I will continue to, we'll go through it, but I will write out the questions as well so we can all see it together. So question number 3, let's have a look. If you think you know the answer before I get there, please write the answer in the chat. So number 3, we have my mum, and then we've got a blank. Let's do this together. Working when she had me. And then the B part is My dad says he's going to blank smoking. I hope so. Okay, so let's do question 3 together. The options here, don't forget, just to remind you of the options, you've got become, have, move, stop, get, leave, start, win. I'll say that again. Become, have, move, stop, get, leave, start, win. So let's look at 3A. My mum, blank, working when she had me. My dad says he's going to smoking. I hope so. Okay, so what we can see is that the answer from 3A and 3B will be the same. So do you guys think it's going to be start or stop? Leon says stop, and that is the correct answer. So the answer for 3 is stop. Excellent. So let's move on to the next one, number 4. We have 4A. We've got my grandparents. My grandparents blank a restaurant. My grandparents blank a restaurant 50 years ago, and now I run it. B. I'd like to blank my own business when I'm older. So what we need to think here is, do you think this is have or start? Do you think this is have or start? My grandparents have a restaurant 50 years ago, or my grandparents started a restaurant 50 years ago and I now run it. I like to have my own business. I'd like to start my own business when I'm older. What do you think it is? Is it have or is it start? Is it have or is it started? Started. Well done, Leon. That is the correct answer. Good. Right. We're halfway there. Let's look at 5A. Maria started. Excellent. Well done. 5A. Then we have a blank. A writing competition when I was 30. And after that, I left my job to become a writer. And 5B is we're going to something, the lottery. I don't need to write anymore. So do you think this is going to be we're going to get the lottery or we're going to win the lottery? Is this going to be I get a writing competition or I won a writing competition? So do you think the answer here is won and win, or win? Okay, that is the correct answer. So just to confirm, A is won and B is win. Good. Number 6, A says we're going to something married. We don't need to write any more than that. And B, my parents something divorced. That's all you need to know. So the question is, do you think this is going to be leave or get? Leave or get? We're going to leave married, or we're going to get. Get and got. Leon has gone from get and got. Do any of you agree? Do any of you disagree? Is it get and got, like Leon says? Well done, Maria. Okay, so the answer is for A, this is going to be get, and for B, this is going to be got. So well done there. Okay, 7A. We've got I something, work, I something home. I something home. When I was 27, I went abroad. Okay, so abroad means to another country. And B, we've got I want to something. Oh, here we go. B. I want to something. My job. This is going to be the same answer. So do you guys think this is going to be move or leave? Move or leave? 7A and 7B. Left. Okay, so I left home when I was 27. So A, well done. A is left. What about B? Is I want to left my job or I want to leave my job? Leave or left? Leave or left for B? I want to left my job or I want to leave my job? Leave. I want to leave my job. Well done, Maria. So we're now on to 8, and this is the last question. I trained to something a nurse after I left school. Okay, so that's your first sentence. And B is my brother's. My brother is an actor. He'd like to something famous, but he's still waiting for his big opportunity. Okay, so here we're only going to be left with one more word. So what do we think it is? Is it become, have, move, stop, get, leave, start, or win? Which one do you think it is? So we've got A, I trained to a nurse, and B, my brother's an actor. He'd like to famous. So do you think it's become or do you think it's get? Is it become or get? I trained to get a nurse or I trained to become a nurse? My brother's an actor. He'd like to get or like to become. Start. A good idea because it has a similar meaning to the answer, but it's not the right word. It's not get either. It is become. I trained to become a nurse, and my brother's an actor. He'd like to become. So this A is become, and B is also become. The reason being is, don't forget, in the first one, we've got I trained to. I trained to. It's already in the past. And because we've got the to, the next word also has to be, the verb has to be in the present. So I trained to has to be in the infinitive. Okay, guys, so really well done today. That takes us to the end of the lesson. We've looked at some new body parts. We've looked at would, like to, and we've looked at some verbs as well. If you have any questions, please leave your questions in the comment section below. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for watching. I will be back at 4 o'clock in 1 hour with the pre-intermediate class, and you're welcome to join. I hope you all have a lovely day. Please like and share the video, and I will see you at 4 o'clock. I will see some of you at 4 o'clock. So thank you very much, everyone. I will see you in 1 hour. Time for a cup of tea.